Balitang National. Good morning, Pilipinas, and welcome to another edition of Balitang National. For this video, allow me to use English and Tagalog as our medium of instruction. Halina at isimplify natin ang result ng multiplication of two rational expressions here. We have t squared minus 2t minus 15 all over t squared minus 9 para sa una nating rational expression na imumultiply ng pangalawang rational expression, t squared minus 60 plus 9 all over 4t minus 12. Before we can multiply this, it's easier for us to look for the factors of all available terms or expressions para po madali nating masagutan yung ating hinahanap na simplified form. To start with, let us try to factor the numerator of our first term. It's a quadratic trinomial, so we are expected po to use the AC method. So dito natin ilalagay yung AC method natin. So yung AC method natin for our t squared minus 2t minus 15, we are going to multiply the a and c coefficients. We have 1 as the coefficient of t squared, and i-multiply po siya sa ating constant, which is negative 15. So yung AC natin po is equal to negative 15. Now let's look for the factors of negative 15. We have 1 and negative 15 here. We also have negative 1 and the positive 15. We could also try 3 and negative 5, and then negative 3, then positive 5. Which of these four pairs po, kung ating i-add, will result to our middle term or middle coefficient, which is negative 2? If we can look for a pair, then it's factorable po, and we can proceed with the use of the coefficients. Ito po yung ating coefficients na hinahanap, because 3 times negative 5 is negative 15, but 3 plus negative 5 is negative 2. It fits the criteria. So yung factor po natin ng ating first quadratic trinomial is a binomial expression po using the square root of the first term, t squared, which is t here, at dito rin po ikakopya natin. Then we are going to use the coefficients that we were able to identify earlier, yung plus 3 at saka yung negative 5. Ito po yung factors natin sa numerator ng ating first quadratic trinomial or first rational expression. All over po yung ating factor ng t squared minus 9. Now, t squared po minus 9 is a difference of two squares. Kasi nga po, yung t squared at saka 9 ay mga perfect square expression, and they are separated by subtraction. Hence again, difference of two squares. And whenever we factor difference of two squares, we are also expecting two binomial expressions, but this time, we have the same first term, same last term, and we are just separating them with addition and subtraction. Opposite signs po. Square root of t squared is t. That's the same here. Square root of 9 is 3 here, and 3 here as well. We have opposite signs. Don't worry if we have written here first minus 3 at saka plus 3 dito. Magkapareho lang po yan kasi po both binomials here are spelled under multiplication. Now, you might see this already kasi po we can now use the cancellation law kasi may binomial expressions na present in both numerators and denominators. But let's try to do it later as we are also going to factor the second rational expression. For our numerator, it's also a quadratic trinomial, so we'll be using here AC way. So yung AC natin po is 1 is equal to 1 times 9, which will result to 9. And the factors for 9, pwede po 1, 9, negative 1, negative 9, pwede rin po 3, 3, and negative 3, negative 3. Which of these pairs po, when we are going to add, will result to negative 6 as the middle coefficient of our quadratic trinomial? It is actually this last pair here, negative 3 and negative 3. And by the way po, we used AC method, but this is actually a perfect square trinomial, for it also fits the criteria that the middle term is twice the square root of the first term and the third term. That's for a separate report you might want to view the previous reports on a different series po. But now, we are sure with this, so we can now present two binomial expressions here with the same first term t as the square root of the first term of the quadratic trinomial, and using minus 3 and minus 3 as the coefficients. And finally, for our denominator here, we have 40 minus 12. We just need to use the common monomial factor in here, which is 4. That's the greatest common factor. And what remains for 40 is just simply t. And for minus 12, which is minus 3. Now we're done factoring po lahat ng ating expressions sa dalawang rational expressions na minumultiply. Before po tayo mag-proceed, please remember that we are multiplying the two rational expressions. In short, it also means that we are multiplying all the present expressions of our numerator in denominator. And with this, as mentioned earlier, we could cancel this, t plus 3 and t plus 3. But we could also cancel t minus 3 here and here, even if they don't belong on the same rational expressions kanina. Kasi nga po, they're under multiplication. So we just combine all numerators and all denominators at once. And we also have this po and this. So yung mga natitirang expression is actually the simplified form of the product of our two rational expressions without even multiplying them. Our result is t minus 5 all over 4. This is the result of our simplified form. Lester Lou Sigumpan, nagbabalita for Balitang Rational. Huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe, i-like at i-share ang video ito. Maraming salamat!